When you say Detroit baseball, one name still hits different. Michael Stephen Lolich, the world knew him as Mickey Lolich. Born on September 12, 1940, in Portland, Oregon, Mickey grew up blue-collar, tough, and built for pressure. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, he just showed up and got the job done. Mickey Lolich spent 16 seasons in Major League Baseball, debuting in 1963 and pitching his final game in 1979. He became a Detroit Tigers icon, a left-handed workhorse with a stare that made hitters nervous before the pitch even left his hand. The peak came in 1968, a year Detroit will never forget. 3 complete games in the World Series. Game 7, no fear. Mickey Lolich walked away as World Series most valuable player, forever etched into baseball history. During and after his career, Mickey earned solid money for his era. By retirement, his estimated net worth sat comfortably in the multi-million-dollar range. But money never defined him. Instead of chasing Hollywood or headlines, Mickey opened a local donut shop in Michigan, serving coffee, laughs, and stories to everyday people who still called him Champ. Off the field, Mickey was deeply family-oriented, a father, a husband, a man who protected his inner circle fiercely. He kept his loved ones out of the spotlight, choosing peace over noise and loyalty over fame. There are some names that don't fade. Some names don't need hype. They just mean something. Today, the baseball world feels quieter, not because of noise, but because of respect. This is the story of Michael Stephen Lolich. To Detroit, to baseball, to real fans. Mickey Lolich. Mickey Lolich was born on September 12, 1940, in Portland, Oregon. No silver spoon, no shortcuts. Just a kid growing up in a working-class world where you learned early how to stand your ground. He wasn't raised to chase fame. He was raised to work. From a young age, Mickey had strong hands, a stronger arm, and a mindset that didn't flinch. Baseball wasn't a dream, it was an outlet, a way forward, a way to prove something. And slowly, that left arm started turning heads. In 1963, Mickey Lolich stepped into Major League Baseball. The uniforms were heavier back then. The innings were longer, and pitchers didn't complain, they endured. Mickey wasn't flashy. He didn't smile much on the mound, but hitters noticed real quick this dude was different. A thick mustache, a stoned face, and a fastball that came at you like a warning. Detroit wasn't just a team for Mickey Lolich, it was a home. With the Detroit Tigers, Mickey became the definition of a workhorse pitcher. He took the ball when others needed rest. He finished games when others tapped out. Night after night, inning after inning, Mickey Lolich showed up. Then came 1968, a season that still echoes through baseball history. The Tigers reached the World Series, and when the lights got brightest, Mickey Lolich didn't blink. He pitched 3 complete games. Not relief, not partial. Complete domination. Game 7. Everything on the line. And Mickey delivered one of the gutsiest performances baseball has ever seen. When it was over, the Tigers were champions. And Mickey Lolich was named World Series Most Valuable Player. That wasn't hype. That was history. Season after season, Mickey kept pitching. More innings, more strikeouts, more wear and tear. At one point, he held the record for most strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher in Major League history. No pitch count protection, no load management, just grit. Today, the baseball world paused. Mickey Lolich passed away on February 4th, 2026, at the age of 85. He died peacefully of natural causes, surrounded by family. No chaos, no suffering. Just a quiet goodbye from a man who let his actions speak his whole life. Even after retirement, Mickey stayed grounded. You could meet him at his shop, shake his hand, hear him laugh about old games like they happened yesterday. No ego, no act, just Mickey being Mickey. Off the field, Mickey Lolich was quiet, private, grounded. He didn't chase Hollywood. He didn't chase headlines. He cared about family, about loyalty, about being real. He was a husband, a father, and a man who believed fame should never be louder than character. By the time Mickey retired in 1979, he had earned well for his era. His estimated net worth later sat in the multi-million-dollar range. But here's the thing. Money never changed him. Instead of living like a celebrity, Mickey opened a donut shop in Michigan, and that tells you everything. Fans would walk in expecting a legend. They got a regular guy. Mickey would pour coffee, crack jokes, and talk baseball like it was still just a game he loved. No ego, no act, just a man comfortable with who he was. Then came the moment no fan wanted to hear. On February 4th, 2026, Mickey Lolich passed away at the age of 85. He died peacefully of natural causes, surrounded by family. No drama, no pain. Just a quiet exit from a man who never needed noise. Even years after retirement, Mickey Lolich never disappeared. Fans still told stories. Kids still learned his name. Old highlights still felt fresh. Because legends don't age out, they settle in. When the news broke, fans didn't rush to argue stats. They remembered moments, that stare on the mound, that Game 7, that toughness you don't see anymore. Mickey Lolich represented an era when pitchers finished what they started. Yes, there were wins. Yes, there were strikeouts. But Mickey's legacy is bigger than stats. He stood for durability. Mickey left behind his children, his family, and generations of fans who learned what toughness looked like. He left behind proof that you can be legendary without losing yourself. For accountability, for showing up when it mattered. He showed that greatness doesn't always yell, sometimes it just stands firm. In today's game of pitch limits and quick hooks, Mickey Lolich feels almost unreal, but that's why his story still hits. Because fans miss players who stayed in the fire. Mickey Lolich wasn't perfect. He was human, and that's why people loved him. He pitched through pain. He lived without pretense, and he walked away with dignity. Before we say goodbye, we gotta talk about what Mickey Lolich really represented. Because Mickey wasn't just a player, he was an era. What made Mickey different wasn't just his arm, it was his mind. When pressure hit, he didn't rush. He didn't panic. He stared hitters down like, yeah, it's still my game. Game 7 energy. Season on the line. Crowd screaming. Mickey Lolich stayed calm. That kind of mental toughness, you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. Back then, baseball wasn't protected. Pitchers weren't wrapped in bubble wrap. If you took the mound, you owned it. And Mickey Lolich owned every inch. He pitched tired. He pitched hurt. He pitched when his arm felt like it was on fire. And he never asked for sympathy. The mound is empty now. The crowd is quiet. The lights dim. But somewhere in Detroit, baseball still remembers Mickey Lolich threw his last pitch, but his story keeps spinning. Not in highlights, not in headlines, but in heart. Rest easy, Mickey. You didn't just play the game, you embodied it.